indoors to play baseball means the Mariners are going to be more comfortable. They should be more comfortable, but they are indoors on the road as they wrap up this road trip with a 4-game series against an old tormentor, the Minnesota Twins. And to you all, a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Niehaus with Ron Fairley. If the Mariners thought getting rid of the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians and then playing against Minnesota and Kansas City was going to be easy, they're wrong, because Minnesota has scored more runs, they have a better ERA, they have a better record than the Seattle Mariners, Red.
And on top of that, the Mariners have a very difficult time beating the Twins, especially here in the carpet in Minnesota. They beat the ball on the ground, they hit the ball the other way. They're a real nuisance to beat here.
Yes, indeed they are. The Mariners, of course, finally snapping that 7-game losing streak yesterday at the Jake in Cleveland, getting some good relief with Bobby Ayala picking up the first save of the year. Tonight's pitching matchups, first of all, for the Seattle Mariners will be left-hander Jamie Moyer, who was a victim of Pedro Martinez in his last outing at Fenway Park in Boston. Martinez just flat through the shutout, and an old friend, 39-year-old Mike Morgan, who has pitched for 10 different teams in the big leagues. Seattle was number 4. Will get the start for Minnesota. Indoors, no problems with the weather. Outdoors, it's not bad anyway. A little on the nippy side, but we got baseball for you. We'll be back and have a look at tonight's starting lineups right after this timeout.
Eagle guarantees that if you find a lower price, we'll beat it by 10%.
Well, 10%.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, on my mini blinds.
You really have?
And it was buy 2, get 1 free. And they matched it and gave me 10% off, too.
Sure, so that's why you bring the other guy's promotional sale ads to Eagle, huh?
I think that manager knows me by now. Here comes Betty with all her ads.
Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything.
For lasting beauty, it's Congolium vinyl floor tile. Easy to care for, durable, no-wax surface. The first choice in flooring. Congolium at Eagle.
I started painting when I was 3.
What was your first painting?
I think it was a painting of a tornado.
Hey!
Dodge Durango is like no sport utility you've ever seen. Say, for instance, you live in a neighborhood with a rhino problem. In a Durango, you could outrun him with the most powerful engine offered in the class. Or you could move him with its best-in-class towing capacity. Or, if push really came to shove, Durango's superior horn would prevail. See the friendly Northwest Dodge dealer near you.
He's not gonna call. He said he'd call, he'll call. He said 7:30. It's almost 8. He's a boy, remember?
Has your computer put your phone on hold? Get an additional line from US West. Save up to $30 before May 15th.
I'll call. Dad, you have no idea what you're doing to my social life.
Life's better here. US West.
What's the main reason you go to Magnolia then?
Service.
The service.
I really felt like I was walking into the Nordstrom of
Home electronics.
Home electronics.
He came over to your house?
He came over
next
to our
day,
house.
Came over to our house and set up everything, and he didn't just sit
He and Matt are sitting on the floor, my cat's in his lap, and he just went that extra mile. The great service that I got at Magnolia is the main reason that I shop there.
Give him a hug. Oh, there you go. God, that's great.
Fox Sports Northwest presents Seattle Mariners Baseball. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, offering fares so low you have the freedom to fly. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Seattle Mariners. By Eagle Hardware and Garden, more of everything. By US West, so you are always connected to what matters to you most. US West, proud sponsor of the year 2000 Olympics. Life's better here. And by Miller Genuine Draft, to remind you it's time for a good old mackerel brew. And welcome back to the Metrodome, where Joey Cora leads it off and sends a 2-hopper to big David Ortiz, the former property of the Seattle Mariners out of the Dominican Republic. Takes it to the bag and 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Mariners. Here's the way the skipper's going tonight. Cora, Rodriguez, Griffey. Look at that. Griffey, 28 career home runs against the Twins. He'll be followed by Martinez, Segui, Hill, and then Wilkins, Davis, and then Radmanovich.
A-Rod hitting .250. Mike Morgan, his delivery is ripped into center field, and Otis Nixon will go over and pick it up off the carpet. And A-Rod will rest at first base with one away, and it'll bring up Ken Griffey Jr. Defensively, the Minnesota Twins with Coomer at third, Mears the shortstop, Todd Walker is at second, David Ortiz over at first, the outfielder Cordova, Nixon, and Alex Ochoa. And behind the plate, Terry Steinbach and 39-year-old Mike Morgan on the mound, and that man right there, TK, Tom Kelly, running the show one more time for the Minnesota Twins. David Ortiz used to be known as David Arias, the man at first base holding on Alex Rodriguez, as Junior steps up to the plate and takes the delivery on the outside corner, 0-1. He was David Arias when he was sent to the Minnesota Twins organization in the Dave Hollins deal in 1996. But now he's David Ortiz, and a great prospect, that first baseman over there for Minnesota. Mike Morgan will be 39 this year, not before too long, and he misses upstairs to Junior. There is David Ortiz. Junior, that 6th home run of the year, number 300 the other night at the Jake in Cleveland. Starts to work on 400 now, does Junior, and sends a ground ball to Ortiz, and he goes down to shortstop Mears, who comes back to Ortiz. Nicely turned. 3-6-3. One hit, nobody left thanks to the double play, and after a half an inning just underway, the Mariners don't score and the Twins come up.
This is my life. I have 5 kids.
Maggie, Katie, Molly, Aaron, and Ryan.
I want to be a lawyer, but there aren't any law schools where I live. So twice a week, after I get the kids off to school, I go to law school in another state. Southwest has lots of flights, so I get back in time to tuck my kids into bed.
Hey, for ingenuity.
My kids take the bus to school. I take the plane.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hold up, pal. Where you going?
Locker room.
Yeah. Name?
Jay Buhner.
Buhner. Nope. Sorry. Not on the list. So why don't you take the costume and call it a day?
Right fielder. 40 home runs last year. Look familiar?
Now get free limited edition Mariner baseball cards in specially marked Pepsi and Mountain Dew packages.
Nice try. Hey, Moose! Ah! That's the Moose. He's on the list.
Discovery Channel Eco Challenge, Australia. 50 teams, 10 days, 350 miles of brutally punishing terrain. Towering cliffs, saltwater crocs, searing heat. An exhausting, dangerous journey through treacherous northern Australia. The world's toughest adventure race just got tougher. Eco Challenge, premiering Sunday, April 19th at 9 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Devil Rays Angels, tonight at 8 on Fox Sports Northwest.
Well, it took Mike Morgan only 7 pitches to get out of the top half of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Twins Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Here's the way that Tom Kelly will be going in this evening's ball game. The veteran center fielder Otis Nixon, followed by Mears, and then Paul Mulgar. Then followed with Cordova, Coomer, Ortiz, Ochoa, Steinbach, and then Todd Walker. And on the mound is Jamie Moyer, and Moyer will be making his 4th start of the year. His last outing, he lost 5-0 at Fenway. And you can see the numbers so far this season on Jamie Moyer. Defensively, Hill, Griffey, Radmanovich in the outfield, Davis, Rodriguez, Cora, Segui around the infield. Wilkins behind the plate doing the catching and the left-hander.
Well, leading it off is Otis Nixon, getting a little long in the tooth, but still producing. He's 39 years of age and sending the foul back and out of play. 0-1. The switch hitter, however, hitting only .208. Nixon to be followed by Pat Mears and then Paul Molitor. Jimmy Moyer didn't pitch that poorly against Boston in his last outing, but he ran into Pedro Martinez. That is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. So
You're probably going to see, my guess is, a fairly short ball game out here today. You got 2 veterans and 2 guys that throw strikes. And there is 1 and 2.
Somewhere in this game, Otis Nixon is going to try to bunt his way on for a base hit. He does it, or at least attempts to bunt, once just about every game.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count on Otis Nixon. And that's outside. North Carolina-based businessman Don Beaver is the man that is interested in getting this franchise to the Carolina area, either Charlotte or Winston-Salem. Fly ball popped up into shallow right field, and Radmanovich, the youngster out of the Twins organization, there in time. 1 away. But there is a group headed by Clark E. Griffith, Calvin Griffith's son, that wants to buy the franchise, keep it here, but they also want a new ballpark. And want an outdoor stadium, and the Mariners opened this park in 1982 when they beat the Minnesota Twins in the first game ever played here. Pat Mears, with that rather robust batting average of .415. This has been a tough place over the years, in which the Mariners have found themselves embroiled in game after game and losing heartbreaker after heartbreaker.
See the players that are hot for the Minnesota Twins. Mears, of course, being one of them. And Steinbach has been on base 9 consecutive times.
He's down the list, but the record is 16. Ted Williams got aboard, 16 straight trips to the plate. That's a fair ball. Just inside the left field foul line, and Pat Mears will have the double. With 1 out here in the first inning, and that'll bring up 42-year-old Paul Molitor.
Molitor is a first ball fastball hitter, but I want to get back to Tom Kelly just a second. Take a look at the replay that we have, and you can see the ball by Mears getting by Davis down there at third base. Tom Kelly instructs his hitters to use foul line to foul line. Pull the ball, hit the ball the other way. Don't try to hit the ball in the air, shoot the ball through the infield and the ground. Make contact, don't strike out. Those hitters are tough to get out. And when you come in here to the Metrodome, that's exactly the kind of offense that you're going to see. Yeah, they've got some guys who can hit the ball at the ballpark occasionally, but they put the ball in play.
3,100 hits plus, Paul Molitor. And as Ron pointed out, a dead first ball fastball hitter, and he hits the first pitch in a slice right to Radmanovich, and Mears will hold on. Molitor didn't get much of a chance to talk about him. Had a double hernia surgery in January. Still has a sore left shoulder. And although he hasn't announced it, a good shot that this is the last year for the future Hall of Famer.
You can see the way that Molitor sets up at the plate. Has that very wide stance, and I think he's developed over the years where he doesn't stride at all. I mean, he just shifts his weight, doesn't pick that front foot up. I guess his stride might be an inch or two, and that's about it.
Well, here's Marty Cardova. He's hitting .571 against left-handed pitching this year. No score. Mears at second base, and 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Rocky Rowe, the man calling balls and strikes.
Cordova particularly tough against left-handed pitching.
2-2 on Marty.
He's one of the guys right here strong enough to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Of course, there are a lot of home runs hit in this stadium. But Cordova particularly very effective against left-handed pitching.
Twins haven't had a 500 year since 1992. Of course, they were the world champions 1991. Strike 3 called on the inside corner to Marty Cordova, and that will be that for Jamie Moyer and the Mariners. Here's left at second, no score after 1.
Shop at Safeway and play $1 Million Baseball Magic. And if your name appears, you could win $1 million if a Mariners player hits for the cycle during today's game.
Imagine that, the old Jamie Moyer changeup. You gonna swing at it?
I don't know. Looks a little high.
Looks pretty good to me.
Hey, you tried that new seafood place downtown? Quiet, man. I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, man, you gotta swing at that. Told you.
The Seattle Mariners. You gotta love these guys.
Put a little something extra on that one.
Football's back with NFL Europe, Sunday on Fox Sports Net. NFL hitting. NFL toughness. NFL attitude.
Let's go!
NFL Europe on Fox Sports Net. NFL action. European cheerleaders. Ryan takes on Scotland. Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Northwest.
From coast to coast, we are there. Experienced.
They know that a win brings them one step closer to their ultimate goal.
Insightful.
That's the first time that George Steinbrenner ever thanked him or said that he did a good job.
It's sports journalism the way it's supposed to be.
And all they've really given us to believe in so far are new uniforms and a Japanese pitcher. As good as it gets.
Fox Sports News New York correspondent Michael Kay. From coast to coast, we are there.
Well, Edgar Martinez and then David Segui and Glenn Allen Hill now against Mike Morgan as we go to the second inning of play, no score. And Michael a little bit low, ball one ball and no strikes. Mike will be 39 years of age in October, makes his home in Park City, Utah. He and his lovely wife Cassie have a couple of daughters. This is the 10th club with whom he has pitched, tying a record. Ken Brett and Tommy Davis both played with 10 different clubs in their major league career, and now joining the list is Mike Morgan. Edgar Martinez, a routine 2-hopper to Mears, and he's got it. So 1 down. He started out with Oakland. As a matter of fact, he won his first major league game against the Seattle Mariners, did Mike Morgan, and that was way back in 1979. You kids 14 and under, sign up for the Sparklets Junior Mariners Club. Just $9.95 plus $2.50 postage. You'll get 2 outfield reserve tickets to an upcoming Mariners game, along with an alternate Mariners cap, a Mariners trading card magnet, and more. Join. You call the AT&T Mariners fan phone at 1-800-MY-MARINERS. David Segui belts a ball deep to right field, right down the line, hooking fair. Off the seats, and David Segui has tied Ken Griffey Jr. for the league lead in home runs with 6. Well, I do know this. His last 4 at-bats, he has swung at the first pitch, Ron, and he's 3 for 4. You talk about first ball hitters.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what? He had to be looking breaking ball on that first pitch because his timing was so perfect. It's almost like I'm going to get a curveball here at this. Look how he keeps his weight back, and then all of a sudden, bam, there goes the bat, there goes the ball.
Last night in the 8th inning, he had a big double on the first pitch to left field. In the 7th inning, on the first pitch, he had a double to left field. There's a base hit down the left field line, rattling around into the corner, and Glenn Allen Hill will coast into second base with a double. So on 2 pitches, a home run and a double. And Mike Morgan getting tattooed here in the 2nd inning.
last night after the game, I was talking to David Segui, and then I went over and visited with Glenn Allen Hill. That last at bat when he had the count in his favor, 2-0 and 3-1. He says, Ron, I had 2 pitches. He said, to this day, I don't know how I missed those pitches last night off of Mike Jackson. He says, I'd sure like to have those pitches back. So a little bit of anger in that first swing, I think, when he got the good pitch to hit, and he didn't miss it this time.
Rick Wilkins getting his start tonight in the place of Dan Wilson behind the plate. He's up to the plate for the first time, taking the Morgan fastball high, ball 1-0.
Now you can take a page out of Tom Kelly's book to have Wilkins pull the ball to the right side of the diamond to get Glenn Allen Hill over to third base. I know there's one out.
Fly ball sliced to left field and fairly deep, and Cordova back to the track. The wall makes a one-handed grab before he bangs into the wall. So Hill will have to scamper back to second. Two down.
I think one thing helped him. Look at the size of that glove that Cordova has. As he reaches up, makes the catch. A good defensive play by Cordova, but look at the size of that glove.
Russ Davis, the hitter. And is the hittee right here as he takes one right off the shoulder. And Ryan Radmanovich, who thought all along that his major league debut would be here in a white uniform, in a Minnesota Twins uniform, finally makes it to the Met, but as a Seattle Mariner after having been claimed on waivers. As you see that pitch get Russ Davis on the shoulder from Minnesota. He's gone 0 for 5. What a place to pick up his first major league hit. A little low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Morgan is not throwing hard at all. Mike signed right out of high school by Charlie Finley when he owned the A's. In '78, went right to Oakland. There's a 2-hopper. Hit right to the second baseman. Walker has to back up on it, and he'll throw him out. So the Mariners get their 27th home run of the year. David Segui his 6th. Lead 2, and after an inning and a half, 1-0 Seattle.
Jay, would you go get me a Jabera Jamesoni?
Sure.
With over 2,500 plants delivered every day, you could get lost in Eagle Hardware's garden department.
There you go.
Oh, it's a daisy.
Now will you go get me a Anthera Biennis?
Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything.
Keep your yard in shape with Schultz. Fertilizers and soil specially formulated for great growing indoors and out. Schultz at Eagle.
Well, my Discover card statement reads like a wish list. Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines.
This will improve my golf game.
It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. The best thing you can do with your Discover card cashback bonus is give it straight to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's what I do.
It pays to Discover. Call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the nervous sign.
My F10's a really solid truck. I drive it back and forth to work every day, lots of curves. It handles really well. I get great gas mileage, so when I'm driving back and forth to work, I don't have to spend a lot of money to pay for gas. It is a great looking truck.
Get up to $1,500 factory cash back or 0.9 financing. Financing less than 1% at your Chevrolet dealers Northwest.
I'm proud to drive a Chevy.
We're talking Chevrolet.
Tom Glasgow with your first U.S. West update. It's from Shea Stadium. The Cubs taking on the Mets, top of the 7th. Cubs lead 5-4, 2 on for Henry Rodriguez. Go ahead, make it 8-4, Henry. Cubs taking care of business, winning by that score. Let's go back to Minnesota.
Not a bad Thursday night crowd at all here at the Metrodome to see the Mariners and the Twins in the first of this 4-game series. The Mariners leading at 1-0 on the line drive home run by David Segui down the right field line, and Ron Coomer, who has tied a career high 11-game hitting streak, leads it off, and the delivery from Moyer's right on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Ron Coomer and then David Ortiz and then Alex Ochoa. The Twins 68 and 94 last year. It was a long year. And they've started out 7-6. The Mariners, by snapping that 7-game losing streak, stayed away from setting a record for the worst start in their history, although they tied it. It stopped at 7, and the Mariners now 4-10. Lupinella, that man knows they're better than 4-10 and is looking forward to this club doing an exact U-turn and get headed up the other way. For here, then the Kansas City Royals Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at the Dome, and then these Twins before the Mariners head all the way back to the East Coast, actually to Kansas City and New York City. Ron Coomer out on that good change.
And that was a high change that time by Jamie Moyer. Moyer generally gets that change up much lower, but this time the change up was up in the strike zone. And watch the swing. Nevertheless, the same results. Hitter could not catch up to it.
This is David Ortiz, a big man out of San Pedro de Margarita in the Dominican Republic, a former product of the Seattle Mariners system and one of their bright budding young stars, but sent to Minnesota in the Dave Hollins deal in '96 when Hollins came over to Seattle. And at that time his name was David Arias, A-R-I-A-S, and now it's Ortiz. Big man, 6'4", 230 pounds. Two and one.
Over the last 10 days, you can see the runs batted in, and Ortiz is among the leaders. He's driven in 10 runs, actually in the last 6 games.
Two and two. So that's 3 strikeouts in a row now for Jamie Moyer, and will bring up Alex Ochoa. If any Mariners player hits for the cycle this evening, completing that single, double, triple, and home run, Michael Thompson of Mill Creek, you're going to win $1 million. You can play $1 Million Baseball Magic at any participating Safeway today. Here's Alex Ochoa. Alex Ochoa was acquired from the New York Mets as TK studies this ball game. His 13th major league season with the Twins. Ochoa came over from the Mets in the Rich Becker deal. Segui, nice lead toss. Boy, perfectly timed to Jamie Moyer. And 5 in a row now retired by Moyer, coming back to the top of the order for Seattle. 1-0 Mariners.
Morning track. Did you bring your binoculars?
Is your cousin a beaver?
All right, my boy Edgar's up.
Come on, little bingo, baby. That is so yard. They're having a sale.
That is so deep, Aquaman couldn't find it.
That's so out, it's RuPaul.
When they start serving microbrews in the cheap seats.
Royals Mariners, Monday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Northwest.
Play AM/PM's Ultimate 4 Scratch and Score, and you could instantly win a trip to a championship game of all 4 major pro sports.
I won!
For 2.
Hi.
Fox Sports News. We are there, first for the whole story.
They are ready to unseat the Bulls from the championship throne.
They try to make problems with Coach Carl and his contract stuff. We just tell him to be quiet and shut his mouth.
We are there live.
Live. Live. Live.
Live. With all the latest home team updates.
We're just getting started.
We are there first, fast, live. Fox Sports News.
I love sports. I dream about sliding headfirst into home plate. Deep in my bones, there is a need for slap shots, left hooks, spikes, high-speed turns, sudden death overtime. He's wide open down the sideline. I want every step. I want every score. The 30, the 20, the 10. If you got the hunger, like I got the hunger, there's only one place to go.
Fox Sports and Fox Sports Northwest bring you worldwide sports coverage plus your favorite home teams, all on Fox Sports Online.
Let's go!
Tucked nicely indoors where it's nice and warm on a fairly chilly evening in the upper Midwest. This is Dave Niehaus with Ron Fairley, and Joey Cora grounded out to first, his second trip to the plate. Morgan finds the mark on the outside corner, 1-1. Park City, Utah. Lad grew up in Las Vegas. Fastball and a fly ball popped to left. Cordova, no problem. One down. You kids now be sure to register for your chance to be a part of the action on Boeing Salute to Kids weekend. That's May the 2nd and the 3rd at the Dome. As part of the festivities, you can be an honorary manager. You can throw out the game's first pitch. You can join the broadcast team and more. That's right, kids going to be taking over the Dome. So get in on the fun by sending a postcard with your name and your address and your age and your phone number to the address right there on your screen. Post Office Box 4100. Hope to see you at Boeing Salute to Kids weekend. A-Rod has taken a strike. Mike Morgan, 117 wins, 167 losses. With the Mariners in 85, 86, and 87, his one-loss record was 24-35. Has always been able to throw strikes. Wastes that one. With the count 2 strikes on A-Rod, the count goes to 1-2. He's an inning eater. He'll give you a lot of innings.
You know, you have to have guys like that on your staff. Otherwise, you're going to wear out your bullpen. You have to have those guys who are going to pitch right around 200 innings for you.
Alex went fishing on a pitch. It may have been a little bit outside. That's Mike Morgan's first strikeout of the evening. And we'll bring up Junior.
Move the ball around the strike zone, and occasionally you'll get hitters to chase a ball that's out of the strike zone if you have any kind of control at all. And as you pointed out, Morgan will throw strikes, and he will get guys to swing at pitches that might be 3-4 inches off the plate.
High and away to Junior, ball 1. Little soft breaking ball. Segui with his home run tonight has caught Junior. They are tied. 5 others make it 6 others with 5 home runs. Mark McGuire was 7. He had 3 the other day.
Walking around the ballpark prior to the game, I could hear the conversation of some of the fans at the ballpark, and they're having bets. How many home runs will Junior hit in this series, this 4-game series?
Low and in.
And it's just fun to kind of hear what the fans are saying. And so a lot of people here tonight obviously watch Ken Griffey Jr. swing the bat.
That's high. 3-2. I'm anxious to see Eric Hilton tomorrow night.
Heard a lot of good things about that young man.
He's a prize left-hander that the Yankees just love. They had to give up in the Chuck Knobloch deal. Line to right field off the end of the bat, and coming up and making the catch, Alex Ochoa. Like he might have lost it in the lights just momentarily, but it did a good job. Made the catch, and the Mariners are gone 1-2-3. Still 1-0 Seattle.
François, dis-moi comment je te sens. J'ai besoin de savoir ce que tu ressens. Tu es le tout bon. Aujourd'hui, pour toujours, je ne pourrai jamais vivre sans toi.
Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. Fly for only $39 with Southwest Airlines Fun Fares.
You are now free to move about the country.
I approximately got 105,000 half barrels down here now in this vicinity. Oh, June 13th, this place will be nuts. I'll guarantee you that. There'll be mega people. Yeah, when the bikes are really roaring and that, it's kind of like adrenaline flowing in and you really feel great. Yeah, I do get jealous at times. I wish I could drive one in that. They probably wish they could drive a forklift, maybe. I don't know. Well, come June 13th, these kegs will be gone. This place will be like a ghost town. Feels kind of weird when they're all gone.
The Adrenaline Rush Hour, up next on TLC.
Every night, TLC's the place that moves you. Gets your heart pounding, blood racing, and it's all real. TLC's Adrenaline Rush Hour.
Lose yourself in it.
Every night at 8. TLC.
Adventures for your heart.
You're watching Fox Sports Northwest.
And welcome back to the Met from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Dave Niehaus along with Ron Fairley. Terry Steinbach, a Minnesota native, leads it off here in the third inning. Terry wearing his age on his back, 36. The thing about the Twins is that they have signed a couple of free agents, this being one of them, Paul Molitor being one of them, but they have never signed a big name free agent without him being a Minnesota native or something to do with Minnesota. And certainly they keep it alive in signing Molitor after Molitor played out the string with Milwaukee and Toronto, and then Paul came home, and now Steinbach has come home. Soft line drive right to Segui. Terry Ryan, the general manager of the Minnesota Twins. We'll get to that in a moment. We invite you to come out to the Kingdom Friday, April the 24th at 7:05. These Twins will be there next Friday. First 20,000 fans receiving a Jay Buhner poster, courtesy of Eagle Hardware and Garden. A full-color poster, the first of 6 Mariners posters that fit together to form a Mariners heavy hitters montage. That's next Friday. Base hit to left field by Todd Walker. Todd Walker, the kid from Louisiana, you might remember he was touted last year as the man most likely to be the rookie of the year in the American League. But Nomar Garciaparra of the Boston Red Sox took care of that, and Todd Walker has been moved to second base.
Terry Crowley.
Terry Crowley, you got a shot of, the hitting instructor of the Minnesota Twins on the bench. First hit since the first inning, the double by Pat Mears.
Well, we pointed out that a lot of teams have tried to run on the Mariners, primarily the left-handed pitchers of the Mariners this year. And so you have Jamie Moyer trying to keep those runners as close as possible.
Double play ball. A-Rod to Joey. Yes, nicely turned by the Seattle Mariners. Good play by Alex, having to go behind him to get the lead man. Nobody left. We'll go to the fourth. Still 1-0 Seattle.
Smart. It's the magic word during Kenmore Days. Our exclusive Kenmore appliance event, and quite a bright time to buy. Choose free delivery or 0% finance charge on all Kenmore appliances over $3.99, and poof, a shiny dishwasher pops up on your doorstep. Kenmore Days. Your new kitchen is now on sale. Smart, stylish, simple. In a word, Kenmore, America's #1 appliance brand.
I looked at a lot of minivans, and I heard a lot of things. Convenience, style, yada, yada, yada. Well, one simple fact stuck with me. Ford Windstar is the first and still the only minivan to earn the government's 5-star safety rating. That means more to me and my family than a lot of mumbo jumbo.
Plus, we got a choice of 1.9 financing or $1,500 cash back.
With Windstar, safety comes first. It's that simple. So keep it simple and see your Northwest Ford dealer today.
We asked Catherine and David Martin to lend us their answering machine and try the US West voice messaging service. Catherine was thrilled because now she can talk on the phone and still get messages. David was delighted because now he can get messages without worrying about broken tapes or muffled messages. So it's no surprise that when we tried to return their old machine, they didn't seem a bit interested. US West. Life's better here.
You're watching Fox Sports Northwest, home of the Mariners.
The difference in the ball game, David Segui's 6th home run of the year on a line drive off the folded up blue seats in right field back in the 2nd inning, and that has been all the scoring. Only 2 hits for the Twins, a double by Mears and a single by Walker. Only 3 hits for the Mariners. And here's Edgar Martinez. On 1. Edgar Martinez has got to be doing a lot of thinking to himself these days. He's not the old Edgar Martinez yet. That's high down the right field line, and going to go back into the stands. It's just amazing. Edgar Martinez, one of the best hitters I've ever seen, and certainly one of the best against left-handed pitchers. And I understand Morgan's not a left-handed pitcher, but Edgar Martinez does not have a hit against a left-handed pitcher yet this year.
And that in itself is really tough to
figure.
Yeah, to figure out.
Whoa, Michael slipped out on the mound.
Boy, and he's lucky he didn't pull a muscle. That's how guys can get hurt. See, where does he slip?
On the rubber. He was on top of the rubber. He wasn't pushing off from the front of the rubber. It looked to me like he was right on top of the rubber, Ronnie.
Yeah. Wonder what kind of shoes he has on.
Shouldn't be standing there anyway.
Well, he should be on the front edge of it. Yeah, your spikes should catch the front edge of that rubber.
Of course, I'm not sure Nolan Ryan's spikes ever touched rubber out there.
Take a look at the kind of shoes that he has, and they look like the regular and the normal baseball spike. You can see pitchers kind of dig a little bit of a trench in front of the rubber so they can push off. And apparently he didn't have his foot in that trench properly, and he slipped on top of the rubber.
Two strikes on Edgar Martinez.
A little bit more relaxed tonight, I think Lou is. Going through that tough cycle of losing 7 straight. He can't stand to lose. Well, I don't know of anybody that really likes it, but some guys tolerate it a little bit better than others. There's a man that's been spending a lot of time with these pitching staffs, Dan Williams.
Mighty close to getting that outside corner. 1-2.
See last night in Cleveland. The bullpen did a great job last night.
Edgar Martinez finds the gap this time on a pitch, and the high bounce will be taken by Otis Nixon. So Edgar Martinez a 1 for 2 night so far.
If you're the player that has really good speed, balls like that generally end up as doubles because they hit that carpet here at the Metrodome. Look at that one more time, and there's the stroke by Edgar. Look how he keeps his head and eyes right on that ball and drives it into the gap in the left center field. But when it hits the outfield gap and hits that carpet out there, it bounces so high in the air, guys with good speed will end up at second base.
Well, let's see what Segui does with this first pitch. Last 4 first pitches, he has cut on it and had 3 hits. He takes this one, however.
And you know what? Look at how he kind of takes that bat and hits himself in the helmet. Probably saying to himself, you know, I'm probably going to get a fastball. I'm probably going to get it away, but maybe I'll just take a pitch. And then sure enough, you get the pitch and you say, well, gee, why didn't I swing at that one too?
One and 1.
How about the Mariners in the long ball last year with 264 home runs?
Change that time. Of course, Segui had another home run taken away in Seattle by that high right field speaker. Would have been in the upper deck. He should have 7. That ended up being a triple.
Yeah, that Junior lost a home run last year with a rained out game in Cleveland. But that ball that Segui hit off the speaker, that ball was headed, yeah, as you said, toward the upper deck.
And another foul. Junior taping a new bat, the handle. Into the Mariner dugout.
Some players like to put tape on the handle of the bat. I know a lot of players did it several years ago. And Junior will probably tape up a half a dozen bats so he always have them ready in the event that he should need them. Junior uses a 34-inch bat, 31 ounces. Small handle, and they're easy to crack the handle.
And a ground ball to the shortstop. Mears 1 and 2. Mears to Walker to Ortiz.
Pitcher's best friend, the double play ball, and that time Mike Morgan looked like he may have taken something off that fastball low and outside, and with that, Segui hits into that 6-4-3 double play. Quite an art out there on the mound of trying to figure out what the hitter's doing and then try to make him do something he doesn't want to do.
tried to hold up. It was the pitch was high, but it ticked the bat and it was caught. So it's a strike on Glen Allen Hill. Todd Walker has no problem with that. So the fourth inning ends up being a 1-2-3 affair for Mike Morgan, and it's still 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Mariners.
Wade Boggs leads the upstart Devil Rays against Tim Salmon and the Angels. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Northwest. Coast to coast, the word is in the air. Finally, America's getting epic sports talk. Jim Rome.
Let me take the last word.
Wallace Matthews.
Anytime you're ready, Jim.
The Last Word. Weeknights at 12 and 6 on Fox Sports Northwest.
Play AM/PM's Ultimate 4 Scratch and Score, and you could instantly win a trip to a championship game of all 4 major pro sports.
I won.
For 2.
Hi.
Football's back with NFL Europe, Sunday on Fox Sports Net. NFL hitting. NFL toughness. NFL attitude.
Let's go!
NFL Europe on Fox Sports Net. NFL action. European cheerleaders. Ryan takes on Scotland. Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Northwest.
Mariners baseball on Fox Sports Northwest is brought to you by your friendly Northwest Dodge dealers and by the Discover card. It pays to discover.
And welcome back to the Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis. Pat Mears leading it off here in the fourth with the Mariners up 1-0 on David Segui's home run. Mears has one of the 2 hits off Jamie Moyer. A double in the first inning into the corner. Scott Ulger is the third base coach. And bobbled that ball. Ron Gardenhire is the first base coach for Minnesota. Dick Such for all these years, a pitching coach for Tom Kelly. That's barely off the inside corner. And another ball headed toward the corner. It's going to be a long leadoff single by Mears here in the fourth.
First time up, he shot the ball by Davis at third base and came back inside the second time up, this time with Moyer in the mound. Look at this pitch here. Boy, that's a good exhibition of hitting by getting your hands in and then still able to keep the ball in fair territory. A lot of guys would hit that pitch foul.
So here is Molly.
Well, a few times he didn't swing at the first pitch. Boy, he's had a great career against the Mariners. Lifetime 500 as a Minnesota Twin against the Mariners. That means something. That means that, nope. We'll take it all off. I don't know. You go through those series of signs. They have indicators that you look for to put the sign on. You can hit and run with Molitor. He can handle the bat extremely well, so you can hit and run with this guy.
Paul Molitor 2 hits away from 3,200 in his career. Look at that, only 2 years ago. Had 225 hits at the age of 40.
Boy, that's a lot of hits. Well, what are the areas that Molitor handles the ball or the best? Well, there they are. The red, of course, being the hot zone. Anywhere in the middle of the plate, but you hit it low and outside, low and inside, and up and in. Well, you pitch the world like that. I think every hitter that's ever had that hit zone flashed up on the screen, you're always going to see a blue area up and in. Because nobody hits that pitch that well, or there'll be the blue sign, the blue square will be low and away.
Hit hard and foul. Molitor will be 42 on August the 22nd. My son's birthday.
Well, a lot of managers like to do things on 2-2 counts. And that's what we have here. That's why Moyer throwing over to first base.
Here's what's happened in the National League today as we take a look at the Eagle Hardware and Garden scoreboard. Cardinals beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-4 in the first game, and Arizona came back to win the nightcap by a score of 8-2 of a doubleheader. Florida knocked off the Phillies 12-4, while Atlanta beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1. Milwaukee over Montreal 5-3. The Cubs beat the Mets. The Dodgers over Colorado in 10. And Houston leading Cincinnati 6-2 in the sixth. Marty Cordova, the hitter.
Had his troubles, though, hitting against Moyer.
And has his second hit against Moyer. Goes the other way nicely. 2 on, 1 down for Minnesota in the fourth, and Ron Coomer, with his 11-game hitting streak, steps up.
The two guys in the lineup that historically that have given Moyer a difficult time is Molitor and Steinbach. The other guys, Jamie's had pretty good success against.
Coomer way out in front of that changeup. Facero pitches tomorrow's game, Kenny Cloud Saturday's game, and Billy Swift Sundays, and then Randy Johnson is scheduled to start on Monday night at home against Kansas City. Russ Davis short hops it, and they get only the one. They get Cordova down at second base. So with 2 away, Mayor's at third down, Coomer at first.
On the replay, it looks like Davis was not too sure as to where he wanted to go with that with his throw. Comes in, he looks at first base, and then decides he has plenty of time to go to second base. Can't get the double play, but they do get one. And they made the right decision by going to second, because obviously the tying run is at third, but the go-ahead run still remains over at first base.
David Ortiz struck out in the second. Moyer trying to get his record back even at 2-2. Second one way outside to David Ortiz.
We've said this guy's been hot the last week. Last half a dozen games, he's driven in 10 runs.
And that's out of play. How come the left-handers wear those elbow guards on the right elbow, and the right-handers don't wear elbow guards on the left elbow?
The only one that I see wearing it is John Valentin of the Red Sox.
Right.
But you're right. The left-handers wear them. Right-handers don't wear them against right-handers.
Mo, Barry Bonds, two I can just think of, and this man, Ortiz.
I guess left-handers are different.
Well, we've all known that.
We've all known that. But you're right. The only Jose Canseco does it. He's also tells me those. Yeah, and I guess Jose's a little different too, but probably because the guys that wear them may have trouble with the ball that's inside.
Ortiz got that off the instep.
I know Canseco does not like the ball in. John Valentin likes the ball out of the plate. Mo Vaughn, when he's hot, doesn't make any difference. He just likes the ball thrown, and he can hit it anywhere. Barry Bonds is really a good hitter. I think you have a better chance of getting Barry Bonds out after you've pitched him away a little bit. You can get him out inside.
One nothing Mariners. Runners at first and third here in the fourth inning for Minnesota. Runner goes, and the pitch is pulled foul, way back and out of play. Attaboy, son.
There's a happy camper.
And his dad is mighty proud of him. Came out to see Ken Griffey Jr., I'll guarantee you.
See the stroke this time by David Ortiz. There's a ball that's in, getting out in front.
And that pitch is pulled in the right field for a base hit. So we got a tie ball game as Ron Coomer is the third base, and they're going to wave him in. Joey Cora will not relay to the plate. The Twins lead it 2-1. David Ortiz, red hot with a bat, picks up 2 more RBIs to give him 14.
And once again, it's the left-handed batter that gives Moyer the difficult time. He gets the right